Today we have Kassandra from Texas, but I'll call her just Cass. How are you, Cass?
Good, thank you. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. It's 6 p.m. here. We have a different time zone, I think.
Yeah.
Kind of a
Yes,
lot of
I just
hours.
woke up.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll talk about her journey to development and, of course, about CSS art. I don't know if you can see behind me something that is scrolling. Yeah. So, Cass, welcome here to this Talking with series. I'll try to be a journalist. And let's talk about you. How did you become a developer? Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So I started in architecture school. I went to school to be an architect. I got about 3 years in and I hated it. I hated it so much. But I really love like the design part and everything. So on the side while I was studying architecture, I did start looking into like JavaScript and stuff. I remember I bought like the head first JavaScript book. And I don't know why, like even then I should have just quit then and started JavaScript and Python and all that stuff. But yeah, so I dropped out of architecture school and then I took like a year hiatus, tried to figure out what I wanted to do. And someone I know needed a website. And I was like, okay, this sounds fun. I could probably try to figure this out. And after that, yeah, that was about 3 or 4 years ago. And I just fell in love with all of it. Like everything is just so wonderful. And it's so much fun. Like it's so much fun to me. And I can't imagine ever doing anything else ever.
Yeah, and I've already seen kind of a lot of CSS art from you. So I don't know if you have posted them or just on Twitter or maybe somewhere else, but somewhere. Can you tell us, for example, about I don't know your first projects? What, for example, what are you doing now? If you have something in your mind, how these ideas they come in your mind, because I've seen them; they are wonderful.
So, I mean, okay, well, with the first CSS art, I had seen Ellie's, her, do you remember Ellie? She's on Twitter. She did a lot of CSS art, and I saw like one of hers, and I had
Ellie,
started doing
Ellie
Ellie
HTML.
HTML. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
had
remember
started
her.
doing 100 days of code to try to learn more animations, and then I saw hers, and I was like, oh my gosh, like what is that? That is so cool. And so I decided to kind of try it myself, and my first one was so ridiculous. It's just like a little house that I made, and it took me like 2 weeks to figure out how to do like gradients and how to keep it together and how to make a cohesive image. Like it took me a long time, and I would quit and I'd be like, I'm never going to figure this out. Like this is hard. I don't know what it is and what's the point? And then eventually like at night I'd be like, okay, let me try this again. And one day I got it. And then I stayed up till 4 in the morning, like working on it. Cause I was like, oh my gosh, like I got it. Like I figured it out. This is how you do it. And yeah, so then I built a single div house like that. And after that, everything just kind of snowballed and I started making everything that I could see. Like I have like let me see, where are you? Xbox remote.
Yeah,
And I was like, let's do that.
I've seen that.
Yeah. Or
Yeah.
like a Game Boy, or I mean anything that I see that I think I could do, like I'll do it. Like it is so much fun to do now. I'd rather do that like than watch TV or something. I'll just code and listen to a book, and it's so much fun. And I started putting them all on Twitter, and that's a lot of fun too. And then I put them on my website, CSS Artist, just because I wanted a website. And but yeah, I can't even begin to tell you how much fun it is for me to do those.
I think it's as if you were drawing, I think.
Yeah, yeah, and I love drawing. I love drawing so much. And when I get a house, I want to get like an easel and paint and stuff, even though I'm not like really good at it. But eventually I can be, I'm sure, if I practice. So yeah, everything artistic like that, like I love so much. I get so excited
Yeah.
about it too. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and also I think that you get a lot of traction, a lot of likes because sometimes I think also by me I hope because sometimes it's shocking the level that you can reach if you focus on that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy because I mean sometimes like like I did a mixer, like a metal mixer. It'll show in your background sometime on my website behind you. Um, and it was, yeah, right there, the mixer, the metal one next to the pencil. That that took me like forever. And I tried it like 3 times. I remember I even messaged Annie and I was like, I'm gonna try this. What do you think? And she's like, I mean, go ahead, try. And so, she encouraged me. And so I started it and then I gave up. And then I started again and then I gave up. And then eventually, like little by little, like, oh, maybe I could do the bowl like this. And then maybe, it took me so long, but you think you can't do something and then you kind of keep going and then eventually you can.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
really neat.
yeah, yeah. And for example, and I'd like to ask you something else. Thank you for this. They are really wonderful, really pieces of art, in my opinion. But yeah, for example, have you ever recorded yourself while doing this kind of stuff, or never? Have you ever tried
No,
this?
never, because
Because yeah,
it would, I mean, I guess I could, but it would take so long and I mess up so much. Maybe it kind of would be okay because so people could see that it's not easy. Like you do mess up and sometimes things look terrible and you have to come back to it and fix it later. It's just so I could, but it would take it takes like days sometimes. But maybe one day I could do like a quick one.
yeah. For example, I think that for example you can do, I don't know, but some time lapse, for example. I think that will
Yeah,
be wonderful to watch. I'll watch that even if it were like 10 minutes. I don't know, 5 minutes. Of course, you can do a time lapse, so compress it, and you can watch the things. Also, when you do something wrong and you delete them, it's cool to watch that in a time lapse because you see that you are
yeah,
doing something, then you remove, then you try something else because
yeah.
yeah,
There's because I messed up so much. Yeah, and it, since I do it on CodePen, I like fork my pen. So at the end of everything, like if you were to look at all of the copies and the things that I threw away in my CodePen like trash can, it'd be like hundreds of pens of just like, yeah. But I think maybe for the next one I will. I just need to think of something to draw because I'm completely out of ideas right now.
yeah, yeah, and please be strong because we need you because I can barely understand the struggle because for example it happened to me sometimes that maybe I edited a video like 10 hours and then I delete it all and I start from scratch
Yeah,
again and you
yeah,
have this feeling people will never watch these
yeah.
hours but
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
yeah, but I think that even if you throw away your work, that I think, in my opinion, could be good in any case. But yeah, but I think yeah, this is what the artists do. So if they are not happy with what they do, they delete that and they start over again. But
Yes, and I'm
yeah,
a
but
huge proponent of throw it all away, start it over.
yeah,
Always, always.
uh,
And it takes so much time.
but I think that. Yeah, for example, I don't know if there is a something. I don't know if you know the Michelangelo from Italy when he started to draw the Cappella Sistina in Italy. I don't know if you know that. He started to draw that in like after 2 years or 1 year or 2 years. He deleted it completely and he started over again.
Oh my gosh,
So
no, I did
that's
not.
that. Yeah, so that's
Yeah,
really another level. But
yeah,
sometimes that's it for the artist. This is the hard life of the people try to make art. They are not happy. They want to delete that because they already know in their mind that they can do better. Do you agree with this?
Yes, exactly. And it's really cool to like do more and more because there's things that I've started and then I quit halfway through and I haven't picked it up again because I'm like, I can't do this. And now I'm thinking of picking up some of the old ones that I threw away before and like, okay, I think I can do this. I think I'm ready.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That could be really a good idea. Yeah. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
and you said that you have like 100, I don't know. You have kind of a lot of something that you have there, and maybe nobody has seen that, but yeah.
Yeah, there's a few. There's a few projects that I've fought with and no one has seen yet. But yeah, I could try to do the time lapse on those.
Yeah. Good luck with that. But yeah. So, but so this is the only thing that you do with coding related, or you do something else? Actually,
for work, I do web design, and I make a lot of websites for work. So I do that, and Python. I've been trying to get more into Python. I like start it and then I stop it and then I start it, but I love Python so much. It's been so much fun to try to learn that and try to figure out how that works and everything. It's so straightforward. And I'm also trying to learn React right now, which is I try to do it like an hour a day. It's definitely not as fun as drawing things on CSS, but it's probably infinitely more useful. So
I don't know. I think it depends on what you want to do, but yeah. So and so you are currently working somewhere. Can you talk about this? I don't know.
Yeah, I work for a mortgage company, and I make a lot of websites for different like loan officers and stuff. And they also let me do like contest websites and fun little like Halloween websites and stuff. So yeah, all of that. I love it. I love my job. They let me go wild and design whatever I want and everything. So it's all like, again, super fun, all of it.
Yeah. You have said the word fun a lot of times, so this makes me really happy because I think that we should do something that we really enjoy in our lives. It's not always possible, but yeah.
Yeah, like I get excited thinking like, oh, like I have to get to work and finish this like project I'm working on, and they're letting me do all these crazy animations and I can figure it out and then design how I want something to look, and it's so cool. It's so cool, and it's the funnest thing ever in the whole world.
I would also allow you to make everything you want with a website. Of course, because I think that for example the CSS, I think it's a bit very hard in the beginning, but once you get some ideas, basic ideas of animations, maybe it's easier. Of course, it's easier. I mean, for you. So after a while, maybe you can figure it out a little bit in your mind already.
Yeah, so once and that's one thing with the drawings that they helped me figure out. Like, I can do a lot more with CSS than just making the basic websites. Now that I know that I could make something crazy out of a background image, like, yeah, it helps me making websites because I'm like, oh, I don't need to go to the designer to do that. I'll just make a quick background with CSS with that and do this, and I can just pretty much, I'm like my own little powerhouse. Like the CSS art helped me figure out how to do so much more with websites and positioning and everything that it changes everything, because now, like, if they give me a project, I know that I can do so much more instead of just being limited to like what I used to know, because now I feel like I know CSS like in and out. So it's really neat.
Yeah. Can you tell? I can't remember, but for example, your last work, your last CSS artwork on Twitter, which one has been?
That was the Polaroid camera.
Ah, that's wonderful. I remember that. That was
Yeah, that
really,
one
really
isn't on the site yet.
incredible.
But yeah, no, that one was probably my favorite to make because, I mean, they're all like actually my favorite to make, but that one was a lot of fun to do. I don't know. Yeah,
Yeah. Still,
I had a
yeah.
blast.
Yeah. Can you tell us some comments that you receive? Some comments that come in your mind, and maybe it was really, yeah,
The stupid lens.
pleasure to receive. If you
The worst, yeah. I mean, and I was shocked by like how many people actually liked it. I didn't think, I thought it was cool, but I didn't think it was like the best one I've ever done. But yeah, I loved it. The hardest part about that one was the lens. The lens on the camera has like weird little circles that change colors and stuff like that. That took me forever. I threw that away and started over on that a few times too. And but yeah, they were it was a lot of fun again.
Yeah, I think that I can remember the effect on the lens. So congratulations on that. I watched
Thank
that.
you.
So now that you are telling this to me, it's coming in my mind. It's
Yeah.
so the final effect. It's really shocking. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that actually wasn't the last one. The last one I did was a keyboard.
Mm.
It
I don't know
was
if I watched that. I'll check that after this video.
yeah.
Yeah. So, and for example, how this idea that they come in your mind? You just you just watch
No, I
around.
just look at it. I just look at anything I see, except now that I'm out of ideas, I'm actually trying to like look for them. So I look up like random products on Pinterest or something, but I haven't found anything I actually like want to do yet again. So if anyone has any ideas, let me know.
I'll try. I'll try because in this period it seems that I'm getting quite good ideas. So I'll try. I'll try to make this. I'll send you a message after this. I'll
Yes,
check these some
anytime.
minutes and I'll send you a couple of ideas. But
Yeah.
of course, all the credits will remain to you. But I'll do that. Let me do this after this let's call this interview. But after this, I'll try. So yeah.
Yeah, I would appreciate that anytime because I'm just like, now what?
Okay. I'll try to do that. I can't promise anything, but I promise that I'll try.
Yeah, anything.
Yeah. And for example, can we give some advice? Because for example, I heard here a couple of people that they would like to start with making CSS art. How they can start from scratch? For example, I don't think that I'll do that in the future. I don't think so. But maybe that day I'll come and I'll watch this video again. And what can we say to them? From what they will start?
I started with there's this article and I'll send it to you if you want to like post it in the links called Getting Started or Drawing Images with CSS Gradients or something. It's on CSS Tricks. And I read that article like 20 times. And that's, I kept trying to figure out how they were doing all of that. But that article is what helped me like figure it out. And there's another article by Lynn Fisher, and I'll send that to you too. And those two articles actually really like helped. And it's basically just, to get started, you just have to figure out gradients, linear gradients, and then radial gradients. But like those are like the two main things that you have to know, like the color stops and matching colors to images and stuff. Yeah, but it's just gradients, just background gradients.
Well, maybe that's a good point to start. Just to don't get lost in the beginning. Just to start from the right point. Of course, you need practice. It's like if I was talking to a drawer and say, how can I start drawing? Of course, they can tell me a couple of resources, but that's not the same as drawing properly. But maybe just just some advices. So thank you very much for this. We'll put these links in the description. Yeah, so good luck with that, because sometimes it's not easy, isn't it, to do something great every time. For example,
Yeah, sometimes they're not great, and that's okay too.
Yeah.
But yeah, if for anyone that really wants to get started, I would recommend starting with try to make like a window with a background gradient, like a real life window. And
Nice.
that'll show you how like the gradients fit together, and it's pretty easy to make. And from there, I think it's a pretty simple jumping off point, just like a cartoon window.
Thank you. I think this advice is really precious for someone, because I think that maybe sometimes it's really hard just in the beginning. Maybe they can start to be great. Maybe if they can do something in the future. So
Once you get like that first little window or something, just once you figure out just how exactly those work, it's over. Like the rest is easy. I feel like it's just like one thing, and then after you figure that out, you're good to go.
thank you so much, because yes, so yeah, because I had many people here. I interviewed Jay. Do you know him? I think
Oh
so.
yeah.
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and also he is really great at this CSS art. Yeah, but I think that this is something really interesting. That yeah, I usually say that yeah, all programmers are artists, but I mean in not in that way as it really is for CSS art. In my opinion, I've seen a lot of very great because it's not only to do that, but also, as you said, the idea it's hard
Yeah,
sometimes.
coming up with the idea is probably one of the hardest things, because I mean the first like 10 things were easy, but now I really am out of ideas. So
I'll try to help you, but I can't promise that. Let's see. So yeah, so thank you. And also, yeah, I think maybe we can also put in description your well, because you have been a guest in the Whiskey Wednesday episode.
Mhm.
I've watched a part of that. What you've talked about there were people just saying questions about CSS.
Yeah, we just talked about the same things. It was just about some CSS art, and with Jay and Annie.
Yeah,
That was a little while ago, but
yeah,
I don't remember. It was just CSS art, I think.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you so much. Yes, and talking about socials, where can we find you? Please follow her. Do do a favor to yourself. Follow her at least on Twitter. But do you which socials do you use? Which what is
For web
your
design, I mainly, it'll just be Twitter. Yeah,
okay?
because yeah, no, just Twitter. And then I have the website CSS Artist, but I don't always update it. And then follow me on CodePen, because that's pretty much where I keep everything.
Okay, so Twitter code pen. We can put the links. I think. Yeah. So thank you so much. And which is your social experience, for example, using Twitter? When have you downloaded it? When have you started using it properly? Your
I
little story of your
started,
Twitter account.
oh my gosh. So I opened it in, I think, 2013, and then I never used it again, like ever, until May. Was it May? Yeah, May of this year, when it was quarantine and we were all bored. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to do the 100 days of code. I see that people do that on Twitter, and I'm going to try it. And so I did. And I had like 5 followers in May, and like half of them don't even use it. So yeah, I started posting random things on 100 days of code. And after that, it just everyone was so supportive, like so supportive, and it made me feel so happy, and it got me so excited to like keep trying and keep doing it. Like if it wasn't for that, I would have never like figured out half the things that I know now, because everyone is just like really helpful about it and very kind, and just like, hey, you can do this, like keep going. And yeah, that's how it all started. And after that, it just snowballed and that's it. But I can't, like, I went from never using Twitter to like now I'm on it like a million times a day.
Yeah, but for example, I can tell you that I've downloaded Twitter like in 2011, I think. I've made like 20 tweets, I think in seven or 8 years, something like that. And also I started using that maybe a little bit before the lockdown. And then when the lockdown came up, I had way more time because I had like 3 hours of commitment every day. So this time was transferred
Yeah.
to Twitter basically.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
So, and yeah, another thing that you said, I think it's very, very important that we need the feedback of the people to, they really, I don't think that they really understand how much important is that for us creating
Yeah.
things. Because for example, in this period, when I wake up in the morning, I check my Twitter messages, and I have people saying like, "Oh, I love your interview series. Keep going." And this is really great. This,
Yeah,
this,
it gives you that like warm, fuzzy feeling in your heart, like, yes. And then
yeah,
it makes you want to keep going.
yeah.
It's
It's really,
encouraging.
yeah. When they're really genuine, just messages, maybe from people that I don't even know, I always
Yeah.
I try to always reply to all of them, because this is what also make us continue doing that basically.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. It's it means a lot. Everyone that likes it and retweets it and tells me that it's good, like it means so much to me every single time.
yeah. Also, yeah. Today I posted something about those support content creators continuously. It's really important, I think. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
really important for them, for you also. For example, if you want to keep Cass going, please support her,
Yeah.
like her images, retweet her images with some good comments. I think this could help her kind of a lot. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. If people like it, then I can totally keep doing it because I love it
yeah,
and it's a lot of fun. And I
yeah.
like interacting with everybody and hearing what they have to say.
And also, you are doing this basically for free, I think. I don't know,
Yeah.
I don't know, but you're doing something to people. It's like if you were, yeah. I think like these artists that they just draw, they put this drawing somewhere. It's really, yeah. It's poetic in a kind of, yeah, in a sense. Yeah,
Yeah, and it's kind of cool to show people like, hey, CSS can also it can make websites, but it can also make a Polaroid camera or, a pen that looks like a picture. Like it's, showing everything else that CSS can do
yeah.
that's out of the norm.
Um, yeah, thank you so much, because I was really looking forward for this interview, because we have scheduled this I think weeks ago.
Mhm.
So I was really looking
Yeah.
forward. Finally, we did that. I'm really happy also to talk with you with almost in person. Yeah,
Yeah.
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 So
And I'm sorry it took so long. Work has been crazy. And now I finally have some time off. So it's been nice.
thank you. No, I think that this is perfect, because I also had two kind of hard weeks, and now I'm a little bit more relaxed now.
Good.
Yeah, so thank you again for being here. Yeah, do you want to say something, so we can, before we leave, to maybe some new developers, maybe young developers? What can we say to them?
Yeah, of course. Like if if you're struggling and if it feels hard, like just keep going. It's not going to be easy for a little bit, but then it'll get easier every single day. And I'm it looks like I'm really really good at CSS, but it wasn't like an overnight thing. And I feel like I take a lot longer to fully grasp a concept than most people, and I have to repeat things over and over and over again until I finally get it. And that's just how programming and coding is going to be. You know, you just have to keep trying, and sometimes you'll fail, but you'll get it. Like, just as long as you keep going, you'll get it. Like, you'll figure it out.
Thank you. Yeah, yes, I think that sometimes when we have this feeling that we feel a little bit lost, we can just breathe and slow down and say, okay, I can do this. Maybe move a little bit, baby steps.
Yeah.
So this
Yeah,
is
especially
yeah.
when starting something, you want to get really good at it really fast, and that's just it's not going to happen like that.
Yeah.
And that's okay. That's totally okay and normal.
Yeah, good things take time. This is maybe a proverb. This is really something. Yeah, but this is true. Yeah. So yeah, thank you for your words. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And it was so good to talk to you.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.